Hello students, welcome to our YouTube channel Sai Edu Pharma. We are here with the new topic solubility of liquids in liquids, in which we will be discussing binary liquids, ideal solutions, real solutions and especially Raoult's law. This is the topic of subject physical pharmaceutics of B Pharmacy, third semester as per PCI syllabus. So I am Professor Dr. Chanchaldeep Kaur and we are going to start our today's lecture. So basically when we see the solubility of liquids in liquids, it means that two or more liquids are mixed together to form a pharmaceutical solution. So there can be various examples, like we can prepare hydroalcoholic solution in which we add alcohol in various percentage in water. Then we prepare aromatic waters in which volatile oil is added to water. Then spirit in which volatile oil is added in the water. Then colloidians in which ether and alcohol are mixed. In the same way, there are various other liquids also which are of when we are mixing two liquids, then there will be binary liquids, there are ternary liquids. So we will be studying in further our video. So we will try to study this topic in very simple way, in a simple language. First of all, we should know that how many types of liquids we know pharmaceutically. So in pharmacy or in pharmaceutical way, we divide liquid into three categories. First is completely miscible. As the name says, when we are mixing uniformly two or more liquids in such a way that they both are completely mixed into each other, which cannot be separated, like water and ethyl alcohol, glycerine and alcohol, alcohol and acetone, then benzene and carbon tetrachloride. So they come under completely miscible liquids. Second category is partially miscible, or we also say as conjugated liquid pairs, or they are also called as binary liquids. In this, two immiscible liquid layers are mixed into each other, but each of which is saturated liquid of one liquid in the other, like water and phenol, water and ether, ethyl ether and water, and nicotine and water. Then third category is completely immiscible, in which the liquids don't mix with each other. Example is water and mercury, oil and water, water and liquid paraffin. They are completely separated. So here we will be seeing what is binary liquid. Bi means two. So when two liquids are added and they are partially miscible, so they form conjugated liquid pairs. And in this we see that they form two immiscible liquid layers, each of which is saturated with another liquid. And here when we add another liquid, like if we add third substance in it, then the complete system formed will be called as ternary system, because it will have three components. Now here there is one more important point. If in the binary liquid we add material which is soluble in only one of the two components, then what will happen? Then the mutual solubility of the liquid pair is decreased. But if the third component that we are adding is soluble in both the components, then the mutual solubility of the liquid pair is increased. Next, we are going to study what are the ideal solutions. So basically, when the dilute solutions are prepared, which consists of very minute or negligible amount of solute as compared to the pure solvent, then that solution will be called as ideal solution. And why they are named as ideal solution? Because in these solutions there is no change in the properties of the components other than dilution when they are mixed to form the solution. No change in properties means no heat is evolved or absorbed during the solution formation, and there is no shrinkage or expansion when the components are mixed to form a solution. So practically ideal solutions are basically formed by mixing different substances which have similar properties. So there is complete uniformity of the attractive intermolecular forces present in between the molecules of solute-solute and solvent-solvent, as well as solute and solvent. And now we are going to study about Raoult's law, and we will see that Raoult's law was specially designed for these ideal solutions only. Raoult's law was named after a French chemist, Francois Marie Raoult, and the Raoult's law was established in the year 1887. It is also considered as the law of thermodynamics, and here we have to remember that it is applicable only for ideal solutions, and it is applicable for non-volatile solutes. Means solutes, they should be non-volatile, they should not evaporate. And when we see the background, then while conducting an experiment, the French chemist Raoult found that when substances were mixed in a solution, then the vapor pressure of the solution decreased simultaneously. So thereby this Raoult's law was formed. Now we will try to understand actually what the Raoult's law is. So first we will see the statement. Raoult's law states that a solvent's partial vapor pressure of a component in a solution or mixture at a definite temperature is equal to the vapor pressure of the pure solvent multiplied by its mole fraction in the solution. So mathematically, P solution is equal to X solvent into P0 solvent, where P solution is vapor pressure of the solution, X solvent is mole fraction of the solvent, and P0 solvent is the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. So here what we have to remember is, firstly, the Raoult's law is especially for ideal solutions, then for very dilute solutions, and it was given at a definite temperature. Now here what they are saying is that the solvent's partial vapor pressure of one component is equal to what? Is equal to vapor pressure of pure solvent, which will be multiplied by mole fraction in the solvent, mole fraction in the solution. So now we will see in detail about Raoult's law. Initially, when we consider single component, for example, if there are two liquids A and B. So here PA is equal to P0A XA and PB will be P0B XB. So as per Dalton's law, if we consider total vapor pressure, then PT will be addition of both the components like PA plus PB. So here when we add PA plus PB, then equation will come P0A XA plus P0B XB, which will further be written as P0A plus XB to the whole P0B minus P0A. Here PA is the partial pressure of component A, P0A is the vapor pressure of the pure component A at that temperature, XA is mole fraction of component A in the liquid phase. Similarly, PB is the partial pressure of B component, PB0 is vapor pressure of pure B component at that temperature, and XB is mole fraction of component B in the liquid phase. Here we will see the graphs of Raoult's law. Initially, we will see two separate graphs for component A and B. You can see here graph in which XA is the mole fraction which is taken in x-axis, and in y-axis vapor pressure is taken. Similarly, here in the x-axis for B component also mole fraction was taken, and in the y-axis vapor pressure is taken. So when we combine both these graphs, then we obtain third graph. Here initially when we see that XA is 1 and XB is 0, and in the end here you see XB is 1 and XA is 0, and this blue one which is the total of both, that is P is equal to PA plus PB. So this is the graph that we have to understand, and we have to learn the graph of Raoult's law. Now we will see the limitations of Raoult's law. As we have seen that this is applicable for describing only ideal solutions. But when we see practically, then there are no ideal solutions available, because the components, when they are mixed, they are not actually identical. So when we mix many of the liquids, then the uniformity in terms of attractive forces is not possible. So that is why when we see that the solutions are not actually ideal solutions, but they are real solutions. And in the case of real solutions, we will be seeing that the Raoult's law will be deviated. It will not be exactly what the Raoult's law is giving. So as the term real solution came, so we will see what this real solution is. So real solutions, they show change in the total volume of the solution upon mixing its different components together. Like in ideal solutions, we had seen that there is no change in volume. But in this case, we are seeing there is change in total volume. Secondly, there is absorption or evolution of heat during mixing and solution formation. We know that there are endothermic and exothermic reactions. And in ideal solutions, we had seen that they were very dilute solutions, means the concentration of the solute was very less. But in the real solution, there is high concentration of solute. And very important point here is the intermolecular forces that are between solute-solute and solute-solvent are very predominant, which slows down the escaping of solvent molecules from the surface. So the real condition, or so the ideal condition, is actually not obtained. There is change in the results that we have seen in the Raoult's law. There will be either negative deviation or there will be positive deviation. First, we will see what the negative deviation is. Here the vapor pressure is lower than that which was given in Raoult's law. This happens because of increase in solubility. How there is increase in solubility, that we will be seeing now. Here you can see that PA is less than P0XA and PB is less than PB0XB. Okay. So this is the negative deviation. Now we will try to understand the basic mechanism behind the negative deviation from Raoult's law. So if the vapor pressure of a mixture is lower than the expected that is given in the Raoult's law, then it will be said to as negative deviation. And how it arises? We see that there are forces between the particles in the mixture. Like we can say that if suppose there are solutes A and if there is solvent B, so there will be some forces between AA, there will be some forces between BB, and there will be some forces between AB. Okay, so AB, that is the intermolecular forces between different components, are called as adhesive forces, and AA or BB, intermolecular forces, are called as cohesive forces. Now you just understand here that when the adhesive forces between different components are stronger than the average cohesive forces between like components, then what will happen? Then each component will be retained in the liquid phase because of this attractive forces, and thereby the vapor pressure or the partial vapor pressure will be lower. Okay, so when we see the partial vapor pressure of each component, then we will see that it is less as expected. Similarly, in this, when we observe the change in enthalpy, then it is also negative because energy is released due to increase in attractive forces. So it will be exothermic process. Now we will see positive deviation from Raoult's law. In this, the vapor pressure is higher than that was given by Raoult's law, and it causes the decrease in solubility. Now we will see the mechanism behind positive deviation. As we had seen in previous case that adhesive forces were larger than cohesive forces. Similarly, for positive deviation, we will see that the cohesive forces between like molecules like AA and BB molecules, those cohesive forces will be greater as compared to adhesive forces between dissimilar molecules. Like the intermolecular force between AB will be lesser as compared to AA and BB. So when AB molecular interaction forces are weaker, then what will happen? The molecules of liquid A will easily escape as compared to pure solution, and thereby the vapor pressure will be increased. So as a result, each component of the solution has a partial vapor pressure greater than expected on the basis of Raoult's law. Okay, and in positive deviation, we see that the change in enthalpy is positive because energy is required to break the AA and BB attractive forces. Hence, it is an endothermic process. So we will see the examples of liquids or solutions with negative or positive deviation. So for negative deviation, example is water and hydrochloric acid, water and nitric acid, chloroform and benzene, and acetone and aniline. And for positive deviation, example is water and ethanol, water and methanol, acetone and benzene, and carbon tetrachloride and benzene. Finally, we will summarize that in negative deviation, vapor pressure is lower, but in positive deviation, vapor pressure is higher. Negative deviation causes increase in solubility, positive deviation causes decrease in solubility. Then in the case of negative deviation, the adhesive forces are higher than the cohesive forces, but in positive deviation, cohesive forces are higher as compared to adhesive forces. Then in the case of negative deviation, the change in enthalpy is negative, so the process is exothermic. In the case of positive deviation, the change in enthalpy is positive, hence the process is endothermic. And if we take one example, then the example for negative deviation is water and hydrochloric acid, and for positive deviation, example is acetone and benzene. So here we come to the end of today's video. We have discussed today's solubility of liquids, in which especially in detail we have discussed Raoult's law. We are preparing various videos of physical pharmacy subject, and this is the video in continuation with the previous video that we have uploaded, which was solubility of gases in liquids. So do like, share and subscribe the channel Sai Edu Pharma and be connected with us. Thank you so much.